Gareth Southgate is a football terrorist. While this Euros has arguably been one of the most exciting in living memory, his shit on a stick tactics have ensured there's no side more boring than England at the competition. The reason for the Bin Laden comparisons is that he's taken a front four who have a combined total of 160 goals between them this season and made them look like they're Make-A-Wish Foundation participants. In fact, the only difference between Southgate and Bin Laden is that the former would have sat back after blowing up just one of the Twin Towers. I mean seriously, what's going on here? You've got a young, hungry and incredibly talented pool of players to choose from, yet they're struggling to string two passes together. Now, as I've said in previous videos, Southgate does deserve credit for taking a nation who are well and truly at rock bottom following the elimination to Iceland at Euro 2016 and turning them into one which is expected to get to the latter stages of any given competition. However, that right there's the fucking problem. It's clear as day he's taken England as far as he can, and the FA's decision to stick with him because he's the boring, politically correct and uninspiring yes man is why he'll be leaving this role with his tail between his legs following an inevitable exit to the first decent side he comes up against in the knockouts, as opposed to with his head held high, like he would have done right after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Fortunately for Southgate, there's every chance England could get to the semi-finals, or potentially even finals, at this year's Euros due to the luck of the draw. They've got Slovakia next, and will play the winners of Switzerland against Italy in the quarters should they get there. Thereafter, it's likely to be one of Netherlands or Austria and Dortmund, and it's fair to say that this has pretty much been the story of his managerial career on the international stage thus far. It's well and good having semi-final and final appearances on your CV, but in reality, the teams that were beaten to get there once any generation of English players would have gotten the better of, let alone this one. Perhaps the most pathetic aspect of Southgate's reign is the dressing room atmosphere he's created. You saw Rice and Kane come out firing in interviews, passive-aggressively blaming pundits and fans for not sticking by the team, even though they're looking paralyzed with fear every time they step foot on the pitch, and they're rightly getting criticized for it. Instead of acting like victims, they should be channeling that anger into their performances to prove the naysayers wrong, yet they're more comfortable staying in their own little bubble of delusion. In their minds, they're beyond reproach because they got closer to winning something than any other England side in the last 60 years, which is ludicrous because nations like France and Germany, who've both won World Cups in the past decade, accept the demand to get over the line at every single tournament because that's simply what winners do. If reports are to be believed, Southgate is also the best paid international manager on the planet at £5 million a year. Fuck me lads, words fail me. Personally, I don't have a horse in the race. The country that I do support in Ireland aren't at the Euros, so all I want to see is some half decent football on display, which, apparently, is asking too much as far as England are concerned. The sooner this clueless, timid, hyper-cautious and charisma vacuum of a man goes back to managing the championship, the better it will be for all concerned, because constantly seeing his team set up in a cowardly fashion and allowing the opposition to control proceedings is precisely how England crashed out to Croatia in 2018 and Italy in 2021, and it'll almost certainly be happening again in a week or two. That's my take. Do let me know yours down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.